Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to this space. Welcome on this page. I am so honored to have you here, and I'm so happy that my video found you. I am so happy that my words found you. I want to welcome you. This is the right space to be if you are currently in a romantic relationship. And this is also the right space to be if you are single. I want to welcome you. My name is 𝗖𝗺𝗺𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂. And for the people that see me for the very first time, if this is the very first time you connect with me, I want to welcome you. I want to also welcome the souls that already know me, the people that have been following me. I want to welcome you all. This is an introductory video. I'm going to be speaking about my work. I'm going to be speaking about who I am, what do I do, how can my work regarding relationships serve you. I'm going to be sharing a little bit about my personal story, my personal experience with relationships, and my intention is that my own story is going to inspire you to bring change, to truly believe that transformation is possible in any single relationship you might have. If you are already in a romantic relationship, what you can expect from me and what you can expect from my energy is that I'm always going to invite you to go deeper in your current relationship. I'm always going to invite you to bridge the seriousness, to bridge the serious energy, the commitment energy in your relationship, in your love story, to bridge that with more playfulness, to bridge that with more pleasure, to bridge that with more juiciness, to bring in more easiness in your romantic relationship. And my goal for you is to always rediscover your partner again and again and again, and rediscover yourself in that relationship again and again and again, and evolve together, grow together, connect to each other more and more. And my goal is also to keep on falling in love, keep on falling in love even deeper with your partner, and keep on falling in love even deeper with yourself. And I also know that in every single romantic relationship, and not only in the romantic relationship, communication is the foundation. It matters to know, to learn how to communicate in an honest way, how to open up and have vulnerable conversations, how to feel empowered, to feel that it's easy for you to express your desires in a romantic relationship, that it's easy for you to clearly let your partner know what are your expectations, what are your needs, how to have that healthy communication, how to have that vulnerable communication that comes from your heart. Communication is not only key when it comes to a happy life in couple, but it's also key when it comes to how to handle conflicts. It's so important to know, to trust yourself, that you know how to handle conflicts, that you know how to respond in a conflict rather than react in that conflict, how to handle a conflict in such a way that you grow from it, that you learn from it, instead of allowing the conflict to create distance between two persons or to create heaviness between two persons. I know that conflicts can create a lot of inner stress and can interact and impact you on different areas of your life. For example, if you have a conflict at home with your husband, or if you have a conflict with your mother, that is going to impact your inner state also when you go at work, also when you're going in your business, also when you're showing up into a meeting. So it's important to learn and to understand how to handle conflicts, to be comfortable, to feel confident in yourself that you know how to handle conflicts. And the most important part, it's important to know how to have heart-led conversations, how to open your heart and have heart-led conversations. Because it's these type of conversations that have the power to create harmony, have the power to create peace, have the power to create more love. And I truly believe that heart-led conversations, they have the power to heal this world, to bring a transformation in this world. The communication that comes from our heart, the words that come from our heart, they are literally charged with energy. They can literally heal the world. And they are conversations that are held in so much honesty, so much transparency, conversations that are able to go deep, to have a meaningful conversation, to hold a meaningful conversation. So if you are single, usually when I step into your world, I invite you to look at your patterns in relationships, to get to know yourself more through the other relationships, to see and realize, become aware of how safe you feel to receive love, how safe you feel to have deep connections with other people, how safe you feel to feel seen by other people, how safe you feel to open up and receive unconditional love, to receive unconditional support. I invite you to look at your standards to see what is non-negotiable for you there. Do you have non-negotiables? Is it the time for us to set non-negotiables? And how deserving do you feel of high standards in your relationship? No matter if you are single or if you are currently in a romantic relationship, my goal is to empower you. I want you to be a sovereign woman. I want you to be a sovereign soul. I want you to be your own soulmate. That is my ultimate goal for you, to become your own soulmate. And whenever you give love, to give from a cup that is full, that is overflowing. There is an abundance of love inside of you, for you, and is enough and more than enough and abundantly flowing for the entire world. When you become your own soulmate, you cultivate this deep sense of self-trust. You have this feeling that you can rely on yourself, and it's very easy for you to break free from any codependent relationship, to break free from any relationship that is unhealthy, that is not actually serving you, that is not supporting you, that is not giving you the best of the best of the best, because I know this is what you actually deserve. So now I want to speak a little bit about my work, how it is different, how it can support you, what's my genius, and how can my genius serve you. Of course, that I believe that every single mentor and every single coach has their own genius. I truly believe each and every single one of us has something unique and has something that is valuable to offer to this world. In my case, my genius is intuition. And I am not the type of person that is going to come and force my idea of perfect love, my idea of perfect relationship, my idea of perfection in general. I'm not gonna force you to follow like a predefined, fixed recipe for love, for the perfect love, because my idea of perfect love might be very different than your idea of perfect love. So I like to meet you where you are. I like to understand what are your needs, what are your expectations, what do you desire to feel, how you desire to feel in relationships, what does it mean a perfect relationship for you. I'm sure that you have heard before on the internet, or you have read the statement that energy trumps everything, energy trumps the strategy in business. Energy goes beyond your words, it's speaking louder than your words. Your energy is speaking louder even than your actions sometimes. So, for example, if somebody says, you know, how do you feel today? And you say, yeah, I'm fine, and you're actually sad, they are going to perceive the energy behind your words. They are going to feel, she doesn't really seem fine, even if she says so. So we know that many times our energy field is speaking louder than the words that we say. Through this gift of mine of intuition and like really receiving the actual story of what's actually going on behind, I get to see your blind spots. And I truly believe we are all intuitive. I truly believe we can all be psychics. We can all have channeling abilities. And what I've noticed from my clients and from my own experience, I also have other mentors. I also have my own mentors. And what I truly see again and again and again is that we all have our own blind spots. No matter how good you are, no matter how expert you are to understand the subconscious mind and to understand how it works, we all have our blind spots, because there are certain things that became so much part of our identity that they become our blind spots. So we need someone else to be our mirror, and that's exactly what is usually happening in relationships, and this is why I always adore speaking about relationships. And the beautiful part of this strong intuitive gift of mine is that I usually get to see a completely different perspective. So it's like you're walking in my world and you're having sunglasses on, and the relationship you want to work on, it can be the relationship with your partner, the relationship with a team member, the relationship with a business partner, the relationship you have with yourself, the relationship with your mother, with your father, with your children, whatever is priority for you right now. When you enter into my world, it's like you're having sunglasses and you're seeing that relationship through those lenses. And you've been seeing that relationship through those lenses your entire life. And then you step into my space and we look together at that relationship, and step by step, gradually, I guide you to take off your sunglasses and see that relationship for what it actually is. To see that relationship and that person with new eyes. To rediscover them and to rediscover yourself in that relationship. Bringing new perspectives to a relationship, it brings so much healing. It brings so much transformation. There is so much transformation going on when you start to look at a person and at a relationship with different eyes. And when you allow your energy field to guide you in that process, instead of allowing your mind, because usually we try to operate from the mind, we try to understand relationships through the mind. But when I invite you to go in your energy field, when I invite you to let yourself be led by your soul, you're going to start to receive new information. You're going to start to have a completely different perspective of that relationship, and you're going to start to see that relationship from a higher perspective. You're going to be able to see what is that relationship teaching you about you, and then you get to redefine yourself in that relationship. You get to respond different to that relationship and in that relationship. My work is also different from other psychics. It's different from other mediums, because I usually don't just read and provide you all the information. I believe that that is disempowering. I am guiding you to start to create yourself that connection with your soul, to connect yourself with that inner power inside of you and not depend on me. And it's okay if you want to work with somebody, but it has to come from an energy of I know how to do this myself. I know I have the power to do this myself, and I am allowing support so things can move easier and faster for me. And that's a very different relationship, and it's a very different energy compared to I need you and you are my solution and you have this gift and I don't have. So it's very important for me in the work that I'm doing and in my sessions to always guide you to connect more and more to your inner power. So I am providing certain information. I am providing information from the blind spots, but I will always guide you to to take charge. I will always empower you to become again the leader, to lead yourself back home, to lead yourself back to the solution in your relationship. If you're wondering, like, who am I? Why am I speaking about relationships? Why should you even listen to me? Professionally speaking, I am a certified mindset coach. I specialized in EFT, in NLP. I am also a Reiki master. I am an energy therapist, and my work is going way beyond Reiki. My work is going way beyond the certifications that I have. I have expanded much farther than the certifications, and I truly believe that it doesn't really matter how many courses you're doing, how many certifications, how many diplomas you have. What matters at the end of the day is the embodiment, is who you are. And the reason why I want to share my wisdom and my experience and what I've learned from relationships is because I got to experience the contrast. I got to experience the full spectrum, to say so. So when I was 4 years old, I was moved into another family. And one of the caregivers that I had really loved me and support me, and I had a wonderful relationship with that person, and I truly deeply loved that person. And the other caregiver abused me emotionally, abused me physically. I went through a lot of violence, and I spent many years in fight or flight or freeze, because many times I teach myself to stay silent. I teach myself to be the good girl. I try to always be the good girl. I try to always be the perfect girl, the girl who takes high marks and has great results in her studies, the girl who always like follows the rules. Because I wanted at all costs to avoid conflict. I wanted at all costs to avoid violence. And the reality is it actually didn't work. So it didn't stop the violence, it didn't stop the abuse, it actually allowed more abuse on top of that. In addition to the traumatic relationship that I have experienced with this caregiver, I had also developed a very deep sense of codependency with the other caregiver. So I was very codependent emotionally, and I couldn't see things clearly. And the relationship that became like a contrast to those traumatic relationships in my childhood and my traumatic experiences in my childhood was and is the relationship I have with my husband, because he was my reminder. He was my reminder through the depth of the love he offered me. He reminded me how I actually deserve to be treated. He showed me what I actually deserve, how I actually deserve to be treated, to be loved. He was my reminder of unconditional love. He was my reminder of unconditional support. He was my reminder of what it feels like to be respected, to be seen, to be listened, to be heard, to be unconditionally supported, unconditionally accepted, what it means to be in a safe relationship. And somehow by his embodiment, he reminded me of what I can actually give to myself. He reminded me, he was like a wake-up call to step into that unconditional love, into that unconditional acceptance, and treat myself at that level and nothing less. And the moment I did that, everything changed in my life. Because the moment when you decide to raise your standards, when you decide this is how I deserve to be treated, this is how I treat myself, this is the depth of my ability to love myself, to accept myself, all the other relationships in your life, they have to match that level or treat you better than that. It becomes, is this or something better? You will not accept, you will not allow anymore any other relationship that is below that standard. And it all starts with us first. It all starts with how you treat yourself. What are the standards in the relationship you have with yourself? And from there, we expand to the other relationships and the other areas of your life. Because relationships, how you are in the interactions you have with your partner, with your children, with your parents, that is impacting everything. It's impacting the way you show up in business. The relationship you have with your partner, with men, with the father figure, that impacts your relationship with money. It's a direct link between the masculine energy and the relationship with money. How you receive money, how you receive clients, that has to do a lot with your relationship with your mother, with the feminine side of the family, with the feminine energy. It's because I have experienced this contrast between the traumatic relationships in my childhood and the relationships I have co-created right now intentionally. I know that the same is possible for you. I know that no matter what your past looks like, no matter how traumatic the relationships in your life were, I know you have the power inside of you to co-create new relationships, to co-create relationships where you are loved, where you are accepted, where you are supported, where you are respected. I know you have the power to create relationships where things are easier, things are there to support you, things are there to bring you pleasure, to bring you joy, to make you laugh in that relationship. And the same is also true for the relationship you have with yourself. No matter how much you hated yourself in the past, no matter how you treated yourself in the past, no matter how many regrets you have or how much judgments you have for your past self, it's always possible to bring yourself into more acceptance. It's always possible to bring yourself into a place where you deeply love and accept yourself. And you can always go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And I also know that no matter how much someone hurt you in the past, you always have the power to forgive them. You have the power to forgive them. You have the power to release yourself from that story and move on with your life. The reason why I wanted to share my story with you, it's not because I want you to put me on a pedestal. I don't want you to think that my case is an exception and I'm so special that I found the healing path for myself, and that your story is different and is not possible for you. My story is here to inspire you. My story is here to be your living testimonial, and this is actually my intention, for me to be your living testimonial. That transformation is possible, that your past doesn't have to define you. Your past relationships and who you were in the past relationships don't have to define you now, and don't have to define your future relationships, the relationships you want to co-create from now on. You have the power to change. You have the power to co-create what feels perfect to you in a relationship. You have the power to co-create the relationship you always desired to have. You have the power to live a different story, to create more easiness, more harmony in a relationship, to feel loved, to feel safe in a relationship. And I want my story to be the living testimonial for you. I want my story to not only be inspiring, but to be a proof. Yes, it's possible, because if it was possible for me, it is possible for you too. If healing is available to me, and was available to me, is available to you too. It's available to every single human being. All you need to do is to commit to your transformation, to commit to your path, to find the right path that is resonating with you the most. So to close this video, I want to say who is my work for. So my work is for a leader, a woman who is committed, who is showing up for her transformation, who is ready for her transformation, who wants a transformation in her relationships, who wants to experience relationships in a different way. And it's also for the woman who is looking for embodiment, who is looking for integration. So I'm not so much the person who explains and it's like teaching you. I'm rather the person that is doing the actual healing work. I am the healer. I am the person that is working with the body, is working with your nervous system, so you can actually change your behaviors in relationships, so you can actually respond different in relationship. And I want to thank you for being here, for listening to this video. I hope that my story inspired you, that it showed you what is available for you too. I hope that I am your reminder that unconditional love, unconditional support, unconditional acceptance is available for you, and you deserve nothing less than that. If my work resonates with you, if my vision resonates with you, if my energy resonates with you, and if you have any other questions regarding my work, I invite you to connect with me. You can drop me a DM, you can book a connection call with me, and we can get to know each other better. I get to understand where you're at, what are your aspirations in relationships, what do you want in a relationship, and we get to decide together if my work can support you, if it's the right fit for you. We get to decide together what is the right path for you, what can take you where you want to be in a relationship. And I do want to mention that the space, the energy that I create in the connection calls, it's a very safe space. So I'm not a fan of bro marketing. I don't do pushy sales. I truly trust your own ability to make a decision, to make an empowered decision, and it's a safe space for us to connect and to really understand if we can work together, and if my work and my gifts can support you. I thank you for watching this video. I thank you for being here. And if you know anybody who resonates with, who might resonate with this work, who might resonate with my energy, then I would appreciate if you send them in my world. I wish you a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are in the world. And remember, unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, unconditional support. You deserve the best of the best of the best.